outrage over the newest Durham filings, the new reports from the Durham investigation may be that the investigation itself is farther along than we previously thought.
Well, this comes after Durham dropped a bombshell filing over the weekend accusing the Clinton campaign of spying on former President Donald Trump, both during the campaign and in the White House. Joining us for more reaction to all of this is former senior advisor to President Trump and CEO of Gettr, Jason Miller. Jason, thank you very much for joining us. I'd like to just first get your overall thoughts as someone who was a key advisor with the campaign. What did you know about what was going on?
Short answer is absolutely nothing, and that's why I'm very shocked and appalled to see this news that Daniel Sussman had been active in trying to solicit information from Trump Towers, from the White House, and go and use that to try to fuel what ultimately ended becoming the Mueller report. And I think it's also important to keep in mind that this is going on at the same time as this false flag operation, the Steele dossier, which again has also been discredited, was being run. But Heather, I think there's a real critical point that no one seems to be jumping on here. Considering that Daniel Sussman billed the Clinton campaign for his time, who told him that this was okay to pursue? Who is he then communicating back to within the Clinton campaign or even Hillary Clinton herself? This is something that no one in the mainstream media wants to talk about.
And why do you think that's important?
Well, very clearly, because it shows who ultimately was behind this, that this wasn't just merely some rogue agent, some lawyer at Perkins Coie law firm off running his own op, that this was something that was organized. The reason why I feel confident in making that jump is because Jake Sullivan, who is now the national security advisor in the Biden White House, actually wrote a memo that Hillary Clinton referred to just days before the election, talking about these alleged Trump-Russia ties. And then Hillary herself talked about it, I believe it was on Halloween of 2016, pushing on these ties. So this clearly was something she was being fed. I want to know what that chain of command and what that interconnection looked like.
Yeah, that was on October 23rd that she tweeted that out. And social media never goes away. So there is a chain now that people can look back and say, well, wait a minute. How did she know about this at this time? Who was being told what? And it does raise a lot of questions, because we were just discussing this earlier, that it now appears that perhaps we're headed in the direction where they're going to try to place the blame solely on this tech executive one, Joffe, and try to say he went out on a rogue mission of his own.
Yeah, and I think that's just silly. And I think the fact, when also not just looking at the Trump campaign and Trump Tower and this so-called connection between Trump and Alpha Bank, and the fact this has been widely discredited, but the fact that even after the election, that they were still monitoring DNS data of the Trump White House. Again, take Trump out of it, of the White House. If this happened with anybody else, I mean, we know what happens to people who commit treason. There are real serious implications that go on about spying on the President of the United States. But here we see the mainstream media running into rapid response mode to try to defend the Democrats and attack the Republicans. It's bizarre.
Yeah, so as I understand this, here's the scenario as Jason, I think you're suggesting, is somebody in the Clinton campaign talked to somebody, maybe money exchanged hands, and said, let's go see if we can connect Trump to Russia. So you have people monitoring the traffic, the DNS traffic, so you can find HTML addresses that lead to IP addresses. You hope to be able to find some Russian IP addresses with Trump IP addresses. And even if they're not there, you create the narrative, which is what we talked about. Then you go to somebody like Jake, you go to the FBI and say, oh, you might want to look into that, which, by the way, they didn't found nothing that was significant. But you go to Jake Sullivan and say, yeah, they're investigating. He tells Hillary tweets, investigation on the 23rd of October. This is all, whether it's illegal or not. Is that the scenario you're laying out? Because that just is kind of dirty politics at the very least, right?
Well, and it's not just dirty politics. Dirty politics have been around since the beginning of the Republic. What this is outright illegality. And that's why I think Sussman is in trouble, that he went to the FBI and laid out this data and said he was doing it just as a private citizen, when it turns out he very much was under the employ of the Clinton campaign. So stirring up all of this trouble with our law enforcement and legal communities and intelligence communities. But the fact is, I want to know, did someone at the Clinton campaign authorize and sign off and say this was a good idea? Or at the very least, what then happened when Sussman went to the Clinton campaign and said, here's what I found? And did they not push back on him? Did they say, hey, this is great, here's your check, we're going to pay your billable hours? So at the very least, the Clinton campaign was complicit in this
And
illegal
Jason-
activity.
But he didn't find much.
Well, Jason, well, we have to go, but I was going to bring up this Newstar company altogether. The cyber security company that they were using had been paid, what, $20,000 by the Biden campaign. The other person that had used this cyber security company, Newstar, was Hillary Clinton.
Well, exactly. And the other thing, too, taking the next step, Heather, is what else then happened in 2020. And so we look at who actually signed off on. Exactly. Who signed off on things in 2016? What did they do in 2020? We just got to keep pulling at the yarn.
Right, and we assume that's what the Durham investigation is doing. We'll find out. We have a feeling we may be talking about this again, Jason, and perhaps with you. So, Jason Miller, thank you so much.